बराबर, यही तो दिक्कत है। इसलिए ओके, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल गुड आफ्टरनून टू ऑल ऑफ यू, those who have joined this lecture. Okay, today I will discuss the role of solids or solid additives for solubility enhancement so that we can develop dry powder injection for reconstitution of poorly water soluble drugs. And this will be with the help of mixed solvency concept. So briefly, I would like to tell you something about the mixed solvency concept. There are two parameters in mixed solvency concept. Number one parameter says that each and everything present on the earth has got solubilizing power. Each and everything means whether it is gas, solid or liquid, all molecules which are present in this universe, they have got solubilizing power. Gases possess solubilizing power, we know from supercritical fluid technology, and of course from other examples which I have mentioned in earlier lectures. So today particularly I will focus on the utilization of the solubilizing power of the solids, and I will briefly give why solids have possess solubilizing power. Up to this time, we know that the liquid, whatever the matter exists in the form of liquid, they all are known as solvent. But whatever the name of any solvent we take, it is good solvent for some solute and bad solvent for other solutes. So this statement is there for all materials, means for all solids and for all gases. Only thing, gases and solids, they demonstrate their solubilizing power when the molecules of gas or molecules of solid, they are in liquid state, then only. Okay, so now coming to the presentation, now, so present now. Okay, now this one presentation is going to be started. Then I will explain you. Okay, now coming to the first slide. Now today's the topic of eco-friendly lecture series 6. I have made 5 lectures earlier to this. This is 6th lecture today. Topic is application of mixed solvency concept to formulate dry powder injection for reconstitution of poorly water soluble drugs. Myself, Dr. R.K. Maheshwari, Professor, Department of Pharmacy, CGS Institute of Technology and Science, 23 Park Road, Indore, Madhya Pradesh, India. My WhatsApp number is +91 9406621907. Email ID rkrkmaheswari@yahoo.co.in. My website is there, www.rkmaheshwari.com. So on this also, so much matter is there on mixed solvency concept, hydrotropy and mixed hydrotropy. Okay, so these were the details. Now slightly mentioning about the earlier lectures. Eco-friendly lecture series 1. Eco-friendly and economic UV spectrophotometric analysis of poorly water soluble drugs by application of hydrotropy, mixed hydrotropy and mixed solvency concept without the involvement of organic solvent. Number 2, eco-friendly lecture series 2. Eco-friendly and economic trimetric analysis of poorly water soluble drugs by application of hydrotropy, mixed hydrotropy and mixed solvency concept without the involvement of organic solvents. Now third lecture, eco-friendly lecture series 3. Each and every substance, whether gas, liquid or solid, present in this universe has got solubilizing power, and the concept is known as mixed solvency concept. This is the first parameter of mixed solvency concept. So whosoever are attending my lecture today, I request them that please see this on YouTube, because this lecture, third lecture, gives the fundamentals of first parameter of mixed solvency concept. Okay, so this would definitely go through this. Now eco-friendly lecture series 4. Eco-friendly and economic analytical techniques for TLC of compounds by application of hydrotropy, and mixed solvency concept without the involvement of organic solvent. And fifth lecture was eco-friendly lecture series 5. Eco-friendly and economic and analytical techniques for a reverse phase HPLC of compounds by application of hydrotropy, and mixed solvency concept without the involvement of organic solvents. So, okay, now coming to something about the mixed solvency concept, first parameter, that how can we say that solids have got solubilizing power. Now, so here, gases, I have told you in earlier slide that how can we say gases have got solubilizing power, but today the importance is that of solids. Means we have to employ the solubilizing power of the various types of additives which are employed in formulations. which exist in a solid state at room temperature particularly, they can be used to make the dry powder injection for reconstitution. So before this, we should learn that how we can say that solids possess solubilizing power. So now here say there are three methods by which the molecules of solid may come in liquid state. Number one, by melting. Number two, by dissolution in a solvent. Number three, by eutectic formation. Now you see this by melting. The example of melting, urea, which is solid at room temperature. After melting, we get a clear colorless melted urea. The molecules of urea are present in liquid state, and they can be involved in hydrogen bonding and weak van der Waals forces. That's why dichlorophonic sodium solubility is enhanced in this melted urea. Okay, and of course we are not formulating any formulation. Number two example, no formulation, but just a proof that solids have got solubilizing power. Phenol. When we melt phenol, it is good solvent for nalidixic acid. The reason is same. The molecules of phenol are available in liquid state. They are able to to get involved in hydrogen bonding and weak van der Waals forces with the molecules of nalidixic acid. So this was by melting. Number two, by dissolution. The solid molecules may come in liquid state by dissolution also. The example of dissolution, ibuprofen solubility in water is very poor, 0.028%. But solubility of ibuprofen in 2 molar sodium benzoate solution, 2 molar means 28.8%, means concentrated solution of sodium benzoate, which is known as hydrotropic solution. The solubility of ibuprofen is 2.390%. So about 85 times solubility enhancement is there due to the molecules of sodium benzoate come in liquid state for hydrogen bonding and weak van der Waals forces with the molecules of ibuprofen. Okay, number two example, ethanol. If we take the example of ethanol liquid, okay, the solubility of furosemide is limited in this, sparingly soluble, 1.7%. But when we dissolve 15% weight by volume niacinamide in ethanol, now the solubility becomes about 5%. 3 times solubility enhancement is there. Why? The molecules of niacinamide, they are present in liquid state in ethanol, and they are responsible for hydrogen bonding and weak van der Waals forces. Okay, again, means these all are the examples, proof for solid for solubilizing power of solids. No formulation up to this time. We will discuss the application of this afterwards. Pyroxicam solubility in propylene glycol, very poor, about 5 milligram per ml. But the solubility in a solution in propylene glycol of 2 solids, 10%, 10% sodium acetate, 10% sodium caprylic. Now the solubility becomes 120 milligram per ml nearly. So 24-fold times solubility enhancement is there. 24-fold solubility enhancement due to the molecules of sodium acetate and molecules of sodium caprylic. They have come in liquid state for hydrogen bonding and weak van der Waals forces with the molecules of pyroxicam. Okay, so this was by dissolution. These were only proof. Up to this time, I did not tell you to relate with formulation. By eutectic formation, menthol thiamol in 1:1 ratio, when we triturate them by 5 gram menthol thiamol, they become liquid, which we call eutectic liquid. Now the properties of this, of course, the details of eutectic liquid you can see in RKM lecture series 8. These were also, these means small videos are there of about say 14-15 minutes duration. So RKM lecture series 8, I have made 31 such small videos, number 1, 2, 3 up to 31. If you put these words, RKM lecture series 8, 1, 2, 3, 31, you get these on YouTube. Okay, so now coming to the properties of this eutectic mixture. In eutectic, menthol and thiamol molecules, they have come in liquid state. And now you are having a clear colorless liquid which contains 2 solids, thiamol and menthol. So this eutectic liquid is good solvent for these materials, and it is bad solvent for this. This means this eutectic liquid is a solvent, and once it is proved it is a solvent, since it contains 2 solids, they must also possess solubilizing power. That's why this eutectic liquid is good solvent for some of the solutions like this. So in this way, it is proved that solids have got solubilizing power. Now coming to the application of this first parameter. Okay, now what you have to do? We have seen up to this time the proof. We did not make any formulation up to that time. Okay, now the second parameter. First parameter was each and everything present on the earth has got solubilizing power. Second parameter says that if you see one more thing. In first parameter, we say that each and everything, whether it is gas, liquid or solid, possesses solubilizing power. And each material, whatever materials are present, whatever the substances are present in this universe, all have got solubilizing power, and all materials are all substances, they are known as solubilizers. But whatever the name of any solubilizer we take, whether it is gas, liquid, or solid, it possesses good solubilizing power for some solutes and bad solubilizing power for other solutes, just like as in case of liquids, which we have discussed so many times. Okay, so this was first parameter. Number two parameter. Now, mixed solvency concept, the name has been put in this way because if you mix different solubilizers in smaller concentrations, making a concentrated solution, this concentrated solution containing different solubilizers in smaller concentrations, and if you are implying them in safe concentration, this solution, this blend may be utilized to prepare the formulations. Okay, now this may, so particularly we would like to focus on the utilization of the solubilizing power of solid type of additives, the additives which are employed to make tablet, capsule, liquid dosage form, suspension, emulsion, or your injection, whatever the formulations are there, they need certain additives. So we are not going to use them in additive form, but the additives will be employed for their solubilizing power, because each substance, each material contains solubilizing power. So our additives or excipients must also be having solubilizing power for some drugs or solubilizing power for some solutes, you may say like this. So now you see the example of second parameter of mixed solvency concept. Now I have made one blend, mixed solvent blend AA. It is the name AA. Okay. Now it contains 4 solid solubilizers: sodium benzoate 5% weight by volume, sodium caprolate 5% weight by volume, sodium citrate 5% weight by volume, poloxamer 407 5% weight by volume. Just by trial and error. There is no particular reason why I have selected 5. Only thing is, for before selection, it was thought that they should be implied, mean the concentrations of these solid solubilizers should be implied in safer concentration. For example, you see, I would like to explain this all to you. Now you see, now when these 4 solids are dissolved in water, okay, and we make up the volume up to 100 ml, so the total strength of this solution is 20%, 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, 20% weight by volume containing 4 solid solubilizers. Okay, now the pH of the solution is 7, means why I am mentioning this pH, neither it is quite acidic nor it is quite alkaline. So there is no role of pH, it is neutral solution. Now we will check the solubility of different drugs which are poorly water soluble, that can this solution containing food solids can increase the solubility? Yes, it can increase. Now you see here, number 1 example, in this solution only in blend, the solubility of now you see one more thing to explain to you. Sodium benzoate up to 10% weight by volume is used as buffering agent, as additive in injection, as per inactive ingredient guide. This inactive ingredient guide is referred by the manufacturers of pharmaceutical formulations. As per that guide, they select the concentrations of additives. Okay, so what I want to tell you, in inactive ingredient guide, the maximum concentration of sodium benzoate which can be employed is 10% weight by volume as buffering agent for injections. But we can imply this additive not for buffering but for its solubilizing power, which I will tell you now later on. So now we may utilize it, it means sodium benzoate, for its solubilizing properties as safe ingredient in this concentration. We can take 10%, we can take 8%, we can take 5%, like this. Okay, mixed solvency concept says that solids also possess solubilizing power. When solids are present in solution form, the molecules of solid can be involved in hydrogen bonding and weak van der Waals forces with the molecules of solutes to enhance the solubility of solutes. Okay, so we have mentioned about first, you may say, the additive about sodium benzoate, that we can imply up to 10% sodium benzoate. Okay, so but in our blend AA, we have implied 5% only, not for buffering action, but to take its help for the solubility enhancement of drugs. Okay, and details are there that the molecules of sodium benzoate, they are present in liquid state, and the molecules can be involved in hydrogen bonding and weak van der Waals forces with the molecules of solute. Now see another ingredient of this blend AA, sodium citrate. Up to 15% weight by volume is used as buffering agent in injections as per inactive ingredient guide. The same means this is referred by manufacturers of pharmaceuticals. Okay, we may utilize its solubilizing properties as safe ingredient in this concentration. Again, the same thing, mixed solvency concept says that solids have got possess solubilizing power. When solids are present in liquid form, they can be involved in hydrogen bonding, weak van der Waals, so on and so forth. Okay, so means up to 15% we can take, but in our blend AA, I have implied only in 5%, not for buffering of injections, but so that because sodium citrate should also be having solubilizing power, so thinking in mind that it can provide some solubilizing action, so 5% sodium citrate has been incorporated in our blend. Now third ingredient, Pulaxamar 407, it is also solid at room temperature, and of course it is an emulsifying agent, it is a solubilizer, and so on and so forth. Okay, Pulaxamar 407 up to 15% weight by volume is used as solubilizing agent, etc. in injections as per inactive ingredient guide. What for it is used for? You may say for solubilizing action. It is a surfactant. Okay. Now we may utilize it for its solubilizing properties as safe ingredient in this concentration. Okay, means up to 15% we can take, but in our blend I have used only 5% of it. Okay, smaller concentration. And again, the reason all are same means solid molecules are present in liquid state. Now fourth ingredient, sodium caprylate is a nutritional agent. Now you see this, the limit of this is not given in this inactive ingredient guide. At present, you may think it that it has not been mentioned in inactive ingredient guide, but later on when it will be utilized in the formulations, and the formulations will be studied for their toxicological for toxicity and all that, and when it will be found, it means sodium caprylate will be found safe, then definitely it will come in inactive ingredient guide. It is also solid at room temperature. It is sodium salt of caprylic acid ester, you may say the this glycerides of free fatty acid, caprylic acid, they are present in various fixed dials which we eat. Okay, and of course this sodium caprylate is reported as nutritional agent. So we may consider it like this: we are starting its use for its solubilizing action because it is a nutritional agent, means it should be safe. Okay, now so here there is no limit has been there. Now the toxicological studies on the prepared formulations shall be conducted to produce safety data for sodium caprylate. So this is not there in inactive ingredient guide in injections. Okay, but I have started its use, you may say like this. Now coming to, whenever you formulate any formulation, suppose you are using all 4 ingredients and you are making some formulation in the form of dry powder injection for reconstitution, then you should do the work, toxicological work on the formulation. When it is found, it will be found safe, then only we can say that we can utilize. But I know that after toxicological studies, we will see that our blend AA will be safe. Okay, anyway, I am not giving the guarantee, but it is my belief that definitely it should be safe. Why it should be safe? Because the 3 ingredient you have employed in very smaller concentrations as per inactive ingredient guide, so means there is no problem with this. But only thing, new thing is sodium caprylate. So when these all 4 will combine, and then of course toxicological studies should be done definitely, and we will find that our formulation will be fine. Means without toxicity. Note, toxicological studies on the prepared formulations shall be conducted to produce safety data for all solubilizers. Now, solubility studies in mixed solvent blend. Now, up to this time, we have mentioned about the additives and their nature, their concentrations implied in safe concentration. Now, means now you are having a blend AA which contains 4 solid solubilizer: sodium benzoate 5%, sodium caprylate 5%, sodium citrate 5%, and polaxamar 405%, and its pH is 7. We have seen. Now what I have done, I have checked the solubility of several, you may say, the poorly water soluble drug. Number one, hydrochlorothiazide, the solubility in water, in blend, in this blend is about 7 milligram per ml, 7 milligram per ml in blend AA, while solubility of hydrochlorothiazide in water is about 0.4 milligram per ml, means it is very poorly water soluble drug. So there is very good enhancement in the solubility due to the presence of these four solids. They are contributing the solubilizing, you may say, the properties to dissolve larger amount of hydrochlorothiazide. Okay, we can now, what can we do? We have obtained the solubility 7 milligram per ml in this blend. So in 2 ml there will be 14 milligram in 2 ml. And the tablets of hydrochlorothiazide available in market are also coming in the strength of 12.5 milligram per tablet. So we can prepare 12.5 milligram per 2 ml of its ready-made intramuscular injection. We can prepare with the use of these four solid solubilizers. Okay, this I have told you, the tablets up to this, they are available in the market. Also, it's a means that of hydrochlorothiazide. It's a dry powder injection for reconstitution using 100 milligram sodium caprylate, 100 milligram sodium benzoate, caprylate, 100 milligram sodium citrate, 100 milligram polaxamar 407, and 12.5 milligram hydrochlorothiazide can be developed. Now you listen me. What we have checked, the solubility of hydrochlorothiazide is 7 milligram per ml in this blend. In 2 ml blend, there will be 14 milligram will be dissolved. We need 12.5 milligram hydrochlorothiazide as dose. Okay, so means 12.5 milligram drug can easily be dissolved by 2 ml of this blend. Okay, number one. So what will be the quantities of these four solid solubilizers in this 2 ml? So you please listen to me. How much you are having? Now you see this. You come to this slide and you see here. Now you see sodium benzoate is 5% weight by volume. What does it mean? 100 ml contains 5 gram, means 5000 milligram. 100 ml. 10 ml will contain 500 milligram. 1 ml will contain 50 milligram, 50 milligram per ml. Okay, so in 2 ml it will be 100 milligram. In the same way, sodium caprylate 5%, 5000 milligram per 100 ml, 500 milligram per 10 ml, 50 milligram per ml. So in the same way, means all for 2 ml of this blend, 100 milligram this, 100 this, 100 this, 100 this will be required. Now, so we are coming to again, it's a now means how can we develop its injection? Now here, this we have seen. Now coming to its here. So now you see here, it's a dry powder injection, means that of hydrochlorothiazide. For dry powder injection for reconstitution can be made with the help of 100 milligram sodium benzoate. These all are solids. 100 milligram sodium caprylate, 100 milligram sodium citrate, 100 milligram polaxamar 407, and you will keep 12.5 milligram of hydrochlorothiazide in a vial. So now in a vial, what are the contents of this vial? 12.5 milligram hydrochlorothiazide, 100 milligram sodium benzoate, 100 milligram sodium citrate, 100 milligram sodium caprylate, and 100 milligram polaxamar 407. All are solid. When we add 2 ml water for injection, or sterile water for injection, or distilled water, whatever you say, and if you reconstitute the injection, you will get a clear solution. Why you are getting a clear solution? Because of the solvent character of all these four solids. So this is the reason that we can prepare it's a dry powder injection for reconstitution. Although these are just the examples, I don't know whether hydrochlorothiazide is unstable in ready-made injection, aqueous injection. This I don't know. But we are seeing some of the examples that if it can increase the solubility of a drug, then we can prepare it's a dry powder injection for reconstitution. For example, suppose in place of hydrochlorothiazide, there is some, say for example, aspirin. or any drug which is hydrolyzable, and you cannot make its a ready-made injection in aqueous solution. Why? Otherwise it will be hydrolyzed, it will not have even the expiry of 1 month. So what to do? We can make such types of unstable, means we can utilize insoluble, such types of insoluble drugs which are unstable in presence of water. They can be kept together with the solid additives for which demonstrate their solubilizing power for your drug, and then these solid mixture, you know, they are, means they are stable for 1.5 years, 2 years, and so on and so forth. At the time of need, you will add water, you will reconstitute, you will get a clear solution, and it will be injected like this. Now see another example. Of course, now how it will be made, means this injection, injection powder blend shall be made aseptically. In aseptic condition, you will have to make it using pyrogen free ingredients. Whatever the 5 ingredient, 4 solubilizers, and fifth drug, they should be free from pyrogen, microbe free, they should be sterile, okay, and these should be available in very fine state of subdivision so that they will dissolve fast. So like this, so it means when 2 ml of sterile water for injection shall be added in vial containing powder blend, and shaking for vial, shaking of vial shall be done, a clear solution shall be obtained, stability studies and toxicological studies shall be conducted on such formulations. Means these are just the examples of as model. Hydrochlorothiazide is a model drug here. Means just by using this hydrochlorothiazide, because it was with me, that's why I have seen the solubility of hydrochlorothiazide in this blend. So it is a model drug, you may say. Now another example of model drug, piroxicam. The solubility of piroxicam is about 20 milligram per ml in this blend AA. Okay, okay. So 20 milligram per ml in this blend, this is the solubility, but in water it is very poorly water soluble. Okay, so means this 4 solid solubilizers, they are increasing the solubility of piroxicam in water. So 20 milligram per ml is the solubility. We can prepare 20 milligram per 2 ml of its ready-made intramuscular injection. Tablets of 20 milligram piroxicam, they are available in the market. Also, it's a dry powder injection for reconstitution using again the same, means 2 ml since you are using, so 100 milligram sodium benzoate, 100 milligram caprylate, 100 milligram citrate, 100 milligram poloxamide, and 20 milligram piroxicam. They will be kept in vial. When you add 2 ml sterile water for injection, you will reconstitute, you will get a clear solution. Other things are same as mentioned, as discussed previously. Now coming to third example of a model drug, furosemide. The solubility of furosemide in this blend is 35 milligram per ml nearly, okay, but in water it is very poorly water soluble drug. So 30 milligram per ml is the solubility in this blend. We can prepare 20 milligram per ml injection, because 20 milligram tablets are running in the market that are furosemide. So tablets, so we can prepare 20 milligram per ml, because solubility is 35 milligram per ml. So 20 milligram per ml injection can be made here. In previous cases it was 2 ml injection, intramuscular injection. This is 1 ml intramuscular injection. What you will have to do now here, for 1 ml you will need 50 milligram sodium benzoate, 50 milligram sodium caprylate, 50 milligram sodium citrate, 50 milligram poloxamide 407, and 20 milligram furosemide in a vial. When 1 ml sterile water for injection will be added, you will get a clear solution. The reason is again the same, the solvent action of solids. One thing I would like to explain to you here, whatever the dry powder injection till now you are seeing in the market, they are lyophilized products, and particularly they are containing either sodium salt of antibiotics, etc., means water soluble form of the drug, or sometimes sodium bicarbonate, etc., is put together with the drug so that by pH role they are dissolved. But here there is very different phenomena. Here the drug is dissolved intact. There is dissolution of intact drug, means unionized drugs. In case of where you put sodium bicarbonate, due to alkalinity, the solubility is enhanced. But here at neutral pH, the pH of blend AA is neutral. At a neutral pH, you are increasing the solubility of a drug. The reason is the solubilizing power of solids. So one day you will see that the industries, they will start the utilization of mixed solvency concept to prepare dry powder injection for reconstitution. Definitely they will start. Okay, I am waiting for that day that they start the utilization of this mixed solvency concept. Okay, other things are same. This was third drug. Fourth drug, model drug, indomethacin. The solubility about 16 milligram per ml in blend AA. 16 milligram per ml. Okay. Now, while the solubility of pyroxicam in water is about 0.4 milligram, is poor solubility, and the indomethacin dose and capsules which are running in market 25 milligram per capsule, for example. Okay. Now, so 16 milligram per ml is the solubility. 2 ml will dissolve 26 milligram. So even the 2 ml injection, you can formulate that of indomethacin in the same way. So this is again a model drug. So 25 milligram drug you will keep together with 100 milligram of these things. When 2 ml water will be added, you will get a clear solution after reconstruction. So this is fourth model drug. Now coming to fifth model drug, aceclofenac. Solubility of aceclofenac is about 60 milligram per ml in this blend AA. Okay, 60 milligram per ml. 100 milligram tablets are available in market. So 2 ml will dissolve 120 milligram. So you can make 100 milligram per 2 ml of injection in the same way. Otherwise, aceclofenac is poorly water soluble drug. So in the same way here, you are seeing that you can develop the injection of aceclofenac. Now coming to how to proceed to develop dry powder injection for a hydrolyzable drug. Now you see the application of mixed solvency concept. Where can we use this concept? If your drug is unstable in presence of water, for example, if it is hydrolyzable drug and you cannot make it a ready-made injection, okay, because of instability due to hydrolysis, what you can do? See, here you can understand this. Suppose the solubility of drug D, which is a hydrolyzable drug. Suppose a drug D is hydrolyzable drug, means unstable drug, and its a dose is 20 milligram. Okay, its dose is 20 milligram. Suppose the solubility of drug D you have determined in blend AA, in mixed solvent blend AA is about 20 milligram, 12 milligram, suppose per ml. You have determined, you have made the solution, you are checking the solubility of D in your solution, and suppose you are getting its solubility 12 milligram per ml, and its solubility in water is suppose 0.6 milligram per ml, means very poor solubility is there. What you can do? We can develop its injection of a strength 20 milligram per 2 ml. Why? 12 milligram per ml means 24 milligram per 2 ml. So 20 milligram can be dissolved by 2 ml of this solution. So what you will do? Drug D you will keep 20 milligram, and sodium benzoate required for 2 ml, that blend AA 100 milligram, sodium caprylate 100 milligram, sodium citrate 100 milligram, and pulaxamar 40 100 milligram. So these all things in fine state of subdivision, they are present in your vial in dry state. Okay, and in dry state we know the a shelf life of dry powders, it is quite high, quite large, you may say 1.5 years, 2 years, and so on and so forth. So at the time of need, you will add 2 ml sterile water for injection, you will reconstitute, you will get a solution. You are not getting a suspense and you are getting a solution, and this solution will be injected to the human being for the patients and all that. So in this way, there is very good application of mixed solvency concept, that if your drug is hydrolyzable and you are not able to make its a ready-made injection, okay, and neither its a sodium salt is available as water soluble compound, so that you can keep by lyophilization. No, there is no chance. Suppose that you cannot dissolve by any other technique. What you can do? You can imply the application of mixed solvency concept, means solids also possess solubilizing power, and particularly the additives which are used in higher concentration safely in your formulation. You have to take the solvent character of those additives, and that can be incorporated in your formulation to give a solution. Okay, now coming to injection powder blend shall be made aseptically. This I have told you, pyrogen free, microbe free hona chahiye. When 2 ml of sterile water will be added and all that. Okay, this we have discussed it so many times. Now coming to suggestion, what should you do? This I have given one example. Now, water soluble solid additives should be selected from inactive ingredient guide. Inactive ingredient guide contains a large number of additives, or you may say the excipients, which can be used in formulation safely. Okay, so which are safely employed in high concentration. Say for example, you have to select those who are being employed in 5% concentration, 10% concentration, so that smaller concentration safely can be employed in your formulation. So say 5% or so, and should be employed in mixed solvent blends by permutation and combination as blend AA. Okay, just like blend AA, which I have made, you can change the additives. For example, you see theophylline. Theophylline is used 5% as stabilizer in injections, 5%. But it is poorly soluble drug, means its solubility in water is 0.8%. But if your additives can increase the solubility of theophylline, and you can incorporate say 4% or 5% of theophylline, that can also be involved, can also be incorporated in your formulation to increase the solubility. So you have to select in this way. Arginine, lysine hydrochloride, these are the amino acids, non-essential amino acids. They can be they are they are in inactive ingredient guide in the concentration of 49%, 40%, and so on and so forth. So 5%, 10% of amino acids, they can also be incorporated as additives in your formulation, just for the solubilizing function. Okay, so anyway, so this will be the starting. In this way you can start. So first you collect a number of solid additives which are employed in 5% or 10% or like this. Then from that you select any 4, or you can select 5, 4% of 5, and like this by permutation combination you can make innumerable safe solvent system, dry safe solvent system like this. Okay, for example, you see some example I am giving to you. For example, number 1, what you can do, you can take 5% sodium benzoate, 5% sodium acetate, because sodium acetate is used up to 10% in as buffering agent in injection. So I have selected only, you can select 5%, you can select 6%, you can select 8%, like this. So and then 5% HB beta cyclodextrin, up to 10% it is employed in inactive ingredient guide, means in injections. So 5% is also safe. Okay, 5% sodium citrate we have mentioned, up to 10% sodium citrate is used as buffering agent. What you have done, you have taken 4 solid solubilizers: sodium benzoate, sodium acetate, HB beta cyclodextrin, and sodium citrate. Now you may change again. 5% sodium benzoate, 5% sodium acetate, 2.5% niacinamide. It is also used in, it is permitted in inactive ingredient guide up to maximum limit of 2.5% as stabilizer in injection. So you can use 2.5% niacinamide, and you can take the sodium citrate 7.5%, like this. So by permutation combination, just to change the concentration. So as many numbers of some blends are there, as many solvent systems are there with you, they will have different solubility of the same drug, you may say, like this. Now third, 5% sodium benzoate, 5% sodium acetate, 2.5% niacinamide, 5% sodium citrate, 2.5% beta cyclodextrin. Beta cyclodextrin has got limited solubility in water, so you may select 2.5% beta cyclodextrin also. And sometimes by use of other solid solubilizer, the solubility of beta cyclodextrin can also be increased up to even 5%. So anyway, this all you have to see and select at random. Okay, there is no equation that you take this is this and you will get this. Okay, then fourth, 5% sodium benzoate, 5% sodium acetate, fluoxamine 4075%, sodium citrate 5%. So there are so many ways by which you can select the solid additives for your formulation. Now coming to arginine, lysine hydrochloride, etc., they are also used in more than 20% weight volume solution in injections as additive, so you can apply them also. Based on solubility studies, intramuscular injection. Now what you have done, suppose you have selected say any one blend and you are getting the solubility of your drug. Either you can make 1 ml intramuscular injection, you can make 2 ml, you make 3 ml, and up to 5 ml you can make the intramuscular injection of your drug, okay, depending on the solubility. So in this way you have to do this carry out work, and I would like to tell you, those who are interested in such type of work, they can call me on my phone, they can join me on my WhatsApp, they can talk, they can discuss with me on my email ID and so on and so forth. And I would like to say you that more and more in more and more colleges such types of projects should be given to the students. When such types of papers are published, the concept is you may say the use of concept is increased, and so on and so forth. Now, note toxicological studies on the prepared formulations shall be conducted to produce the safety data of all solubilizers. This is there. Okay. Now, after formulation, whatever blend, depending on the safe concentrations of additives you have employed, but then also after making the formulation, you have to perform the chemical stability studies, you have to perform the toxicological studies, and so on and so forth. Now, coming to perhaps the last slide, reference. Now, one paper to discuss. Now, here in SGS ITS, one MPharm project was done by Nilesh Maheshwari, MPharm student. Okay, so this is a published paper. I am giving you the reference of that published paper. It is available. Full paper is there on available on Google search. So Nilesh Maheshwari, RK Maheshwari, these are the authors. Formulation development of dry injection for reconstitution of a poorly water soluble drug, candesartan Selexatil, using mixed solvency concept and their evaluations. This is the title. International Journal of Science and Research, name of journal, 2019, volume 8, issue 12, 13 page number to 1320 and all that. So this is the public means reference. You may go through all this paper. One more thing I would like to tell you, if you require the soft copy of this project MPharm thesis, I can send it to you also, so that step by step you can proceed for your new project. Come RKM lecture series 19 on YouTube. If you put these words on with a YouTube, you will get this something about this about 12 minutes duration. This video is there. Now, in this project, a student has made now briefly I would like to tell you what has been done by Nilesh Maheshwari, MPharm student, in this project. He has made 24 mixed solvent blends, 24 containing solid solubilizers. The different 24 blends were made by him. Then solubility studies were performed for candesartan Selexatil, and then out of those 3 blends were selected by him which were having great solubility of candesartan Selexatil. For example, now you see, I think I have mentioned 2 in this presentation. 2 blends, two examples. Blend 1, sodium caprylate 10 gram, means 10%, sodium benzoate 5%, sodium citrate 5%, and water up to 100 ml, like this. So here sodium caprylate is a nutritional agent. Of course, its use is, we are starting its use in formulation, and it will be found safe definitely after toxicological studies. So thinking in this way, the sodium caprylate is also a very good solubilizer. Okay, so 10%, 5%, and 5%. Then what has been done? The solubility in the solution was checked. So solubility of candesartan Selexatil in this blend was 1.9% weight by volume, 1.9%. Solubility in water 0.002%, very poor. Now you see a great enhancement in solubility is there because of the solubilizing power of these 3 solid additives. Okay. Now coming to Formula 1, which he has developed for dry injection for reconstitution. You see 8 milligram is the dose of candesartan Selexatil. Okay, so 8 milligram per ml was the strength of this. Why? Because you are seeing here 1.9% is the solubility in this blend. 1.9%, while this 8 milligram per ml is 0.8%. 0.8%. So very good solubility is there. So 1 ml will be sufficient to dissolve at least 8 milligram. So candesartan Selexatil, this is the formula. 8 milligram, sodium caprylate 100 milligram, because for it is 10%. Now you see here the strength of sodium caprylate is 10%. So for 1 ml, 10 gram, for 100 ml, 1 gram for 10 ml, 100 milligram for 1 ml, 50 milligram for 1 ml, 50 milligram for 1 ml. So in this way, the formula of this dry powder injection is candesartan Selexatil 8 milligram, sodium caprylate 100 milligram, sodium benzoate 50 milligram, sodium citrate 50 milligram. So they will be kept in vial, and when you will add 1 ml water, you will reconstitute, you will get a clear solution. Otherwise, candesartan Selexatil is very poorly water soluble. Another blend, another formula of the injection: sodium caprylate 10%, sodium benzoate 5%, sodium acetate 5%. In previous example, in place of sodium acetate, it was sodium citrate. Here it is this. So in the same way now, but here now you see the solubility. Solubility of candesartan acetyl in this blend is 2.690%. Means so this is the solubility. Okay, in water it is very poorly water soluble. So how will you make it this 1 ml will be sufficient to dissolve 8 milligram, because 1 ml can dissolve 26 milligram, but you need only 8 milligram. So your formula will be, formula for dry powder injection for reconstitution, 8 milligram per ml. Candesartan acetyl 8 milligram, sodium capryl 800 milligram, sodium benzoate 50 milligram, sodium acetate 50 milligram. So in this way, what you are observing, that solids which are not called solvent, they also possess solubilizing power, and because of this you are able to make their dry powder injection for reconstitution. And after reconstitution, you are not getting a suspension, you are getting a solution. And you know the solutions have got more bioavailability than suspension, and so on and so forth. So in this way I have explained to you. Okay, now now I will one more thing I have to show you. Reference. So those who want the matter on hydrotropy, mixed hydrotropy and mixed solvency concept, they can refer this recently published this book. The title of this book is The Future of Pharmaceutical Product Development and Research, edited by Dr. Rakesh K. Tekade. Okay, this was published in year 2020. It is Elsewhere book. Chapter 5 of this book contains hydrotropy and all that. Hydrotropy, mixed hydrotropy and mixed solvency as trending concept for solubilization of lipophilic drug. This is the title of this chapter 5. Authors of this chapter are Anirudh Padiyar, Om Prakash Agrawal, Kuldeep Rajput, and Rakesh K. Tekade. So this was the information for you. Now my lecture is over. I am coming to you, okay, to solve your queries. So let me first stop the recording, then I will come to you for answering your questions.